Admissions and High School Programs at Coconino Community College. And with me here today co-presenting is Patty Petland. Patty is the admission advisor for Coconino Community College at Coconino High School. Patty, you want to say hi to everyone real quick?
Hello.
We also have Donna Lyons with us today, your fearless dual enrollment and caveat counselor at Coconino High School. So thank you for being with us today also, Donna. Okay, a couple of housekeeping items as we go through the presentation this evening. First of all, if you could all keep yourself on mute. It seems like you are all on mute right now. It just kind of helps prevent the background noise. And also, it also looks like all of you have your videos turned off. That just helps with the bandwidth. That would be awesome. Also, we are going to be taking questions at the end. You can enter your questions into the chat function with Zoom. As we go through the presentation, feel free to enter them in there, and we will get to them at the end. And we will also give time at the end for actual verbal questions. I believe that Carly Saunders, the admission advisor for Flagstaff High School, is also with us tonight. And so, oh, there she is. Hi, Carly. And
Hi.
so she'll be also monitoring the chat and answering questions at the end. So with that, Patty, did I miss anything? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the presentation. So this is our dual enrollment information night. Obviously the date is November 30th. This is our CCC Admissions and High School Program team at Coconino Community College. You can see Patty there. She is your Coconino High School Admission Advisor. Carly, who just said hi to everyone, is your Flag High, in case we do have any Flag High parents here this evening. They also cover multiple schools throughout the county. Coconino High School and Flagstaff High are just a couple of them. That's me, and we also have Mike Luna, who is our out-of-county recruitment and admissions, and Cindy Anderson, who mans our welcome desk here at Coconino Community College. So just getting right into the meat of it, I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between dual enrollment, caveat, and concurrent enrollment. These terms are kind of used sometimes interchangeably by other states, other colleges, the public. And so really each community college, along with their partnering high schools, kind of in Coconino County have defined it the way that I'm going to be describing this evening. First of all, let's go through where are the classes located. So for dual enrollment, the classes are located at the high school campus. For caveat courses, they are located at CCC. Either on the 4th Street or Lone Tree campuses. Many of them are actually on the 4th Street campus because they are more career and technical education courses and programs. Concurrent enrollment are basically, they could be courses anywhere at the Lone Tree or 4th Street campus, but they are on the college campus. So the big difference there is dual enrollment is at the high school campus, taught by dual enrollment high school instructors, and caveat and concurrent are both at the college. Who are the students? Basically, any high school student could be in any of these programs. How are the tuitions and fees paid? Student pays for the fees directly to the college for concurrent enrollment and dual enrollment, but for caveat central programs are financially supported by the Caveat Career and Technical Education District. So if any of you are in caveat programs or interested in joining a caveat program, most of those fees are covered through the funding they receive. And I would definitely talk to Ms. Lyons about those programs because those courses, again, are college level courses. Who provides the instruction? So for dual enrollment, which is what we're talking about tonight, they are instructors that have the credentialing to be college instructors, but they are also high school teachers. And so that's pretty cool. And that's why there's a variety of offerings at each of the high schools, because it really is dependent upon which of the high school teachers meet that higher level of credentialing required to be a college instructor. Caveat, obviously taught by CCC instructor, same thing with concurrent enrollment. So when is the instruction provided? Dual enrollment, which is again what we're talking about this evening, is in the high school day. Caveat is usually 2 to 8 p.m. After school. So the student goes to school during their regular day and then may take courses through Caveat at night. Same thing with concurrent enrollment. How are the classes designated in each program? Basically, there is IGAs, that stands for Intergovernmental Agreements between these high schools, and Caveat and Coconino Community College, so we can provide these services throughout our county. And who are the contacts for the program? So for the dual, that's Alex, Patty, and Curly. That's everyone here tonight. Caveat is going to be Jen Merrick, Brent Nelson, and of the Coconino High School, that's going to be Donna Lyons. And concurrent enrollment is our admission advisor, Mike Luna. So another question that we get asked very frequently is, what is the difference between dual enrollment and advanced placement, and how can I pick? How should I choose what is best for my student? And the answer that we always have is just really look at the differences between the programs. So that's what we're going to go through right now. So for dual enrollment, basically, in terms of college transfer, the acceptance varies university to university. In state, pretty much all dual enrollment courses are transferable. We're going to go into that in just a moment. Out of state, we recommend that the student contacts that out of state college and asks, hey, if I have English 101 on a community college transcript, will this transfer into your school? Advanced placement, as you know, they need to score that 4 or 5, depending on that AP exam, depending on the student's chosen college or university, and acceptance varies university to university. So the financial dual enrollment for arts and science is at a significant reduced tuition rate from the regular college course. It's going to be that's $15 per credit hour, as opposed to $113 per credit hour, which would be CCC's regular tuition. And the cost of the AP exam is your advanced placement cost. Now, one of the big advantages over advanced placement, in many people's opinion, is that you get that GPA boost, right? So if you get an A in the AP class, it counts for a 5 instead of a 4 GPA, or if you get the B, it counts for the 4. For dual enrollment, there is no GPA boost. What grade the student receives is the grade that they get. However, with dual enrollment, you can definitely guarantee that whatever grade they get, they will receive on that CCC transcript. Whereas with the AP, they have to score that 4 or 5 in order for that to transfer. And that is not the case with dual enrollment. Okay, so with the AP, they're taking that kind of chance to hope that they're going to get that credit in through getting a high enough score on that exam. Other benefits of dual enrollment is that they have access to all CCC student services, bus passes, they get a CCC ID. So essentially they are CCC students completely. They have every benefit that a college student would have, including tutoring, bus line passes, student discounts, all that kind of stuff. Benefits of advanced placement, like I just spoke about, is that boost in that GPA. And then dual enrollment, the final grade that the student receives on the high school DE class goes on the college transcript. Okay, so let's really narrow in here on what is dual enrollment, because that is what this evening is about, and that is why you're all here. So what is dual enrollment? So basically the students' instructors are certified to teach at the college level, and therefore can provide college credits to high school students for a course taught at the high school. So there's actually 2 parts to this. First of all, they have to qualify with their credentials, and then their curriculum has to be approved to be college level. So it has to be everything, all the course outcomes, all the course assessments, all the course has to directly align with what we would be offering at CCC. So if you take the English 101 course at Coconino High School, you can guarantee that everything in that course has the exact same syllabi, outcomes, course curriculum as what it would if a student were to take that very same class at Coconino Community College. How much is the class? Like I just mentioned, $15 per credit hour, as opposed to $113 per credit hour at a normal 2-year institution. And at a 4-year institution like NAU, ASU, U of A, it would be about $3,000, if not more, for that same class. So let's take that English. I'm going to keep using the English 101 example because it is an easy example to use. That is a 3-credit course. It would cost $45 for the dual enrollment. It would cost, and that also includes textbooks and materials because of that IGA. They're supplied by the high school. If you were to take that cost at CCC directly or another two-year institution, it would be $113 times 3. If you were to take it at a university, it would be probably $1,000 per credit, which is approximately $3,000. These numbers are a little old. I think the university cost is even more than that as of today. So already talked about the perks offered by CCC. Patty, did you want to say something?
Yeah, just a reminder that the tuition for the CTE classes is free.
Thank you. So yes, the $15 per credit hour are for your arts and science courses. So when we say arts and science, we mean math, English, science, biology, that kind of stuff, physics. The CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. That's going to be your welding courses or your AHS courses, or your hotel and restaurant management culinary courses, okay? And those ones are free. They are $0 per credit hour. There is no tuition cost for CTE courses. Thank you, Patty. Will my courses transfer? Most of the courses at CCC, because they are just like if you were to take a CCC course, are accepted at most Arizona colleges and many out-of-state colleges as well. I'm going to hand this over to Patty now. She's going to be talking specifically about what the dual enrollment process is for spring 2021.
All right. Yeah, so the first step in the dual enrollment process, I feel pretty confident all of you have already completed, and that is basically you want to talk to your high school counselor about taking a dual enrollment class, okay? I'm pretty sure that as the result of COVID, you worked out your schedules for the spring a long time ago, so that's already happened. But that would be like if you're a sophomore or a junior right now and you definitely want to continue to take more dual enrollment classes, continue to talk to Ms. Lyons and then make sure that you know which classes are offered for you in your year that are dual enrollment courses. The next step, which some of you may already have done, but some of you will still need to do, that is get your online application. So we need you to be admitted to the college just like a regular CCC student would be before we can move forward, getting you that dual enrollment credit. Those of you who have taken dual enrollment in the past, you do not need to do this. If you have already taken a dual enrollment class, if you've already done that online application, you only need to do it once. Okay, but if this is your first time, if you're in a dual enrollment class this coming spring and it's your first class, we're going to talk about getting that online application completed. So in a normal year, there would be a step in here that we've removed, and that's related to placement. But we've removed it because of COVID-19. We have suspended placement for this year. But maybe if you attend next year at this time, we will be talking about placement. But we're going to skip over that and we're going to move straight to registration. Registration is going to work a little bit differently this year as well because of COVID-19. Once we are communicating with your instructors and Ms. Lyons, so we know who is in what course, and we can tell if you have submitted your online application, and then we're going to automatically register you on the back end here at CCC once we know you want those dual enrollment credits and you have submitted that online application. So that's going to just happen with you submitting that online application and communicating to either Ms. Lyons or your instructor that you definitely want that dual enrollment credit. We will then register you on our end. And then the last important step is for those of you who want those arts and science credits. So the English, the math, the biology, you need to make payment by the deadline, that $15 per credit hour. And those of you who are in CTE courses do not need to make payment, but that is the final step for the arts and science courses. And we'll talk about the deadlines of that. So I think we can move on, Alex.
Okay.
So we're gonna play 2 short videos, and then I'm gonna show you where you can find these videos on our website if you find that you want to return to them if they're extra helpful. But the first video is gonna walk you through how to submit that online application, and the second video is gonna walk you through how to make payment. And sorry, I just got distracted by the chat. So we'll go ahead and play this. For those of you who want to know how to get that application in.
Working on it. Don't know why it's not playing. Sorry.
That's okay. It worked before when we practiced, huh?
I know. Okay, hold on. Sometimes this happens when there's a whole bunch of people. All right, hold on, I'm sorry.
Well, we can just talk about where to watch them.
Yeah, okay. I don't know why it's not doing it. It worked earlier.
It did work earlier. I'm sorry, everyone. We tried. Sometimes this happens, but they're 2 really useful videos. And what I'll do is I'll show you where they live on the CCC website, and they're there permanently. So you can go, and it really does, it walks you through the step-by-step of what you need to do to submit that online application. And then when we move sort of after winter break, when it becomes time to make payment, it'll walk you through step-by-step how to make payment. So if we want to skip forward a few slides.
Yep.
Okay. So our homepage is www.coconino.edu. And one of the main menu bars on that homepage, it says Future Students. And the first thing that pops up under that menu, it says Admissions, Becoming a New Student. And it's got a star there. And so that's this page here on the left. It says Request Information and things. And then you'll see sort of the 4 photos down there. One has a photo and then it says Apply Now. One has a photo, it says Degree and Certificates. And then that third one has a photo and it says High School Programs. So that's what we are right now. Dual enrollment's a high school program. So you want to click that high school programs page. And then once you're on the high school programs page, if you click dual enrollment, you'll see these 2 videos that we're talking about. So those 2 videos on how to apply and how to make payment, they live on our, what we call HS to CCC, which stands for High School to CCC, our programs page. And so if you go to the next slide, Alex, once you click that dual enrollment button, you'll see this. And those are those 2 videos. They're also on YouTube. So if you search Coconino Community College on YouTube, they're one of the many, there's a lot of videos there, but you could probably go through and find them there. But they're really useful for when you're ready to get that application in. And then when you come back from winter break, when you're ready to make payment. So I was
actually thinking, Patty, that once we're done with the PowerPoint, I can share exactly how to get there and play the videos. Once
that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do the videos at the end.
Okay, cool. But what you're going to do once you start that online application, you're going to sort of create an account, which is you're going to enter your name, you're going to enter a personal email address and a password. And that's going to set up your account. And the application takes 10-15 minutes. One of the things you want to make sure to select is when it asks you, why are you taking classes at CCC? You do want to choose take courses while attending high school. And that'll just sort of change the type of application you complete. So you want to make sure to do that, and then to check the box for dual enrollment, because that's why we're here. Once that online application is completed, you are going to receive to that personal email address that you created your account with, you're going to receive a series of emails from CCC. And one of them is going to contain what we call your Comet ID. And we're the CCC Comets, that's our mascot. If you can see behind Alex, her screen, she's got a cool Comet with the sunglasses on. And so that's an important student ID that you will be using. For example, when you go to make payment, if you're paying for the arts and science courses for $15 credit hour, you'll use that Comet ID to log into your student account. We use that Comet ID to identify and register you. So it's a good one to sort of write in your notebook or write in your, make a note in your iPhone or smartphone. But you will get that information sent to you automatically once you've completed that online application. And it'll tell you how to access your student account, which we also call My CCC. And I think we can move on to the next slide. Okay, so let's talk about some deadlines. Basically, if you want that dual enrollment credit, we need you to get that online application in ASAP, at the latest before winter break. So we want to know before everyone sort of leaves for the holiday and you start forgetting things about the previous semester, we want to make sure that you've got that application in and that we know you want that dual enrollment credit, because when you come back in January, we can remind you to make payment. But if we're starting with applications and things coming in January, it's cutting it a little close. So we need you to submit that online application before you leave for break, before you break. And then you're going to come back and you're going to readjust again to what school and life is like in the new year in 2021. And the deadline for making payment will be February 12th. And we'll be in touch with Ms. Lyons and sending out reminders and reminding you of the video. If you're having trouble figuring out how to make payment, we'll be doing that. But the first one is to get that CCC online application in. And again, that would be for students who have not before taken dual enrollment. If you've already taken dual enrollment in the past, you do not need to submit that online application.
Or if you have been a caveat student, or if you have been a concurrent student. So basically, if you already have a Comet ID, you've already taken any type of courses at CCC, you do not need to submit that online application again.
Correct. And this is really cool. This is a QR code. I don't know if any of you use them, but if you've got your smartphone handy and if you know that this is your first time taking a dual class and you need to get that online application submitted, you can scan this code with your smartphone and it'll take you right to the application. And it's a good application to do on your phone as well. It goes pretty quickly. And so if that's helpful.
Perfect. Okay, so which colleges accept dual enrollment credits? There's a lot of colleges throughout America. This is just a small list that we kind of used just as an example, but essentially the main message that I want to take away from this slide is that dual enrollment credit, you have to remember, is just like Coconino Community College credit. So wherever Coconino Community College credit, and we are an accredited institution, we're accredited by the Higher Learning Commission. Wherever we can transfer credit to, you can also transfer dual enrollment credit to. ASU, U of A, plenty of out-of-state colleges, NAU, all of the above. One place to go to verify if you're kind of thinking, okay, you know, I think I want to do dual enrollment, I think I want to pay the $15 per credit hour, or the tuition that doesn't cost anything, but I think I want to do this. I think I want to go through this whole process and do this. But I just want to make sure that the class that I'm taking does transfer to the college that I want to go to. You can go to aztransfer.com. This is an example of what the page would look like. The example that we're using is History 131, which is actually a Flagstaff High dual enrollment course. As you can see at ASU, it transfers in as History 109. At NAU, it transfers in as History 291, and at U of A, it transfers in as History 160. So that's just one example, but you could put any course that you're currently in. Welding 102, Welding 106, English 101, English 102, any of the courses, Math 187, and see how that transfers via AZ transfer to any of those 3 colleges. This is also a way, I thought I would just include this slide. This is also a way through aztransfer.com to find out how that advanced placement credit transfers, right? So if your student is taking the US History AP exam at Coconino High School, it will show exactly what score they would need in order for it to transfer. And you can also pick the school here as to which school you are planning on attending. So moving on to how do students make payment? The video would have showed you this. We're going to show that at the end. But basically, there's 3 primary ways that after winter break, we want you to think before winter break, get admitted to the college. After winter break, make payment for the course. Okay, so kind of separate out that way. The 3 ways that students can pay for the course is logging in to their MyCC portal. When it comes time to make payment after winter break, we will be sending out individual communications via the personal email addresses to each student that applied. And Ms. Lyons will also be sending out communications, how a student logs into their MyCC, how they make payment. We will make it as easy as possible. If the technology piece is a little overwhelming and you're like, I just wish I could do it the old school way, you can. You can come to any CCC campus and make a payment via check or credit card. We also take cash, although I've been told to let everyone know that they would prefer cash or credit. Check or credit at this point because of COVID. And then finally, Indian education may cover DE tuition if a student has a certificate of Indian blood. So if you are a Native American student or a parent of a Native American student, definitely please check with Shannon Taylor, the Native American advisor at Coconino High School, or Miss Lyons. Most likely your credits will be, your tuition will be covered through Indian education if you want it to be. Okay, important spring 2021 dual enrollment deadline. So everyone that we're talking about today, all of these students are signing up for spring 2021 dual enrollment. And what that means to you is that this credit will reflect on your Coconino Community College transcript in spring 2021, okay? You may have been in the course the entire, no, you haven't because of the block scheduling. I just forget what I just said. You are signing up for the spring 2021 dual enrollment this year, okay? Now, these deadlines are to reflect that spring. So February 12th is the deadline to make the payment. Of course, you cannot make a payment for a course that you are not registered in. And you can't get registered for a course if you have not been admitted. So you have to get admitted, hopefully before winter break. Then we will automatically register you, just like Patty took you through. And then finally, by February 12th, you would need to make that payment for the arts and science courses. If you are in a CTE course, you do not have to make payment. February 17th is our drop for non-payment. So 5 days after that payment deadline, if a student has not yet made payment for that arts and science course, we will assume that they do not want credit and we will drop them, and there will be no record on their CCC transcript, okay? So that's important to remember. And then April 23rd, this is another very important date, and we do send out notifications to instructors and to Ms. Lyons. deadline for withdrawing with a W. So let's say that you signed up for a dual enrollment course and you think you're going to get an A or a B, and then suddenly something happens in your life and it ends up that you're actually failing the course or getting a D. Instead of that D or F going on your CCC transcript, if you let Miss Lyons or your instructor know, we can withdraw you from that course, which would give you a W on your CCC transcript and not a letter grade, which therefore does not impact your college GPA. Okay, so that's another important deadline to remember. Okay, Carly's going to be monitoring questions, and we're also going to take some questions. But before we do that, I'm going to stop the share on that PowerPoint, and I am going to share these videos because I really think they're going to help you a lot.
So Alex is looking for the videos, the first one, how to apply, and the second one, how to make payment. Keep in mind that the most important one at the moment is how to apply, because we want those applications in before winter break. And you won't be able to make payment until we register you. So how to make payment, Alex, wouldn't you say that would mostly apply for after winter break?
Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because if we have not yet registered you, there's really going to be no class there for you to pay for. So just keep in mind that both videos are there, but making payment is not going to be possible until we come back from winter break.
Thank you, Patty. Okay, let's give this a shot. Can you see that, Patty?
Yeah, it's pretty small. Can you make it bigger?
Yeah.
With the little scaling?
Perfect. Okay, so I just want to kind of show everyone how we got to that video again. So you're going to go to the CCC homepage. You can go to the admissions, becoming a student. And then as Patty mentioned, you're going to click on high school programs. And then dual enrollment. And we're also going to be sending, we've also sent this information out to the instructors to be sharing with students and Ms. Lyons to be sharing with students directly from their high school course. Okay, so as Patty said, that is your main video right now, how to apply. Okay, so we need to do that ASAP. Now, the next thing would be how to make payment. And this is the video that you're going to access after winter break because we will not have students registered until winter break. So if you try to make a payment by going through your MyCC and doing all of those things, you're not going to find a class there because you're not registered yet. Okay, so we're going to be doing that a couple of days before winter break. So after winter break or during winter break, this is how you would make a payment all the way up until that February 12th deadline. I did notice on that video that we made 2 months ago, actually maybe 3 months ago, preparing for, in the midst of COVID, preparing for our dual enrollment season, that it did on that video say the payment deadline is February 5th. It has since been moved to February 12th because FUSD is starting later than what we expected for that spring semester. So it is, that deadline for payment is February 12th. We'll make sure we go ahead and adjust that so it's correct on that video. Okay, we are, that is all of the information that we wanted to share. It looks like there's been an active chat box. Carly, do you want to kind of lead the way on this?
Sure. So basically, the main questions are, what the process is. So through the application, you just want to make sure that you're clicking taking classes while in high school. And that'll render the dual enrollment application. And you do have to fill this out only one time as a reminder. So if you've ever filled out this application before, it's only one time that you have to fill it out for the DE classes. And then the honors English 9 is not a DE class. That's just honors class, it looks like.
Yeah, so and then I got a question about, it might have just come to me, but it was about can you take more than one dual enrollment class? And yes, you can, but you need to be aware that not all high school courses are dual enrollment courses. Right, it's the specific ones that have that instructor credentialing and that curriculum credentialing that will qualify for dual enrollment. I mean, keeping in mind that they tend to be a little more rigorous, but if you're up for taking more than one in a semester and you're enrolled in more than one class with that option, you certainly can.
All right, so the next question we have is, if we registered for DE English last year and have a COMET ID, would we have to register again? And that is no. So you don't have to fill out the application again. You'll be registered for the course if you have that COMET ID, and then you'll just want to make sure to make that payment for that class afterwards so that you get the college credit. So you'll be registered because you have a COMET ID. You'll be registered shortly after winter break, and then you'll make that payment right then.
Yeah, and one differentiation I want to make, because it's language that we all kind of use every day and throw around, but one thing I do think really helps people understand this process is the difference between being admitted to the college and being registered for the class. Okay, so once you have filled out that online admission application, you have been admitted to the college, you are a CCC student, and you have a COMET ID. Just because you completed that, it does not mean you're registered for the class, and it does not mean that when you go to make payment, there's a class there, okay? So this is kind of getting used to college life, right? You first of all get admitted to an institution, then you would pick your course and you would register for that course. The difference between dual enrollment and regular enrollment, if you were a regular CCC student, is that if you were a regular CC student, you would self-register for that course. But because you're dual enrollment, we register you, okay? So your responsibility is to get admitted. I have a COMET ID. I am a CCC student. We register you for your specific course or courses, and then you make payment, okay? So I sometimes feel like that is a helpful differentiation, because oftentimes students feel that because they got admitted to the college that they're automatically registered for the course, and then they go to make payment and there's nothing there, okay? Because you're not in a course yet. Also, I thought it was a very good question and a great answer, Patty, Carly, that you gave. There was a caveat student that was an engineering student. Caveat does have one program that is not CCC related, and that is engineering. Is there another one too, Donna, or is it just engineering at this point?
Wasn't it vet?
It was, but I don't think that's offered this year.
No.
Yeah.
We lost.
So yeah, if you were a caveat engineering student, then you're in that small category of cohort of students that were in the caveat program, but that caveat program was not part of CCC, okay? So if you were in the engineering caveat program, then you would still have to submit an application to CCC. If you were in any other caveat program, such as CNA, medical assisting, alternative energy, HRM, AJS, there's 12 of them, then you would already have a COMET ID. And you, because they are, because caveat partners with CCC for those programs, but it does not for engineering sciences.
Hey, Alex. So in terms of, do we have maybe a general idea when students will be registered and therefore able to make payment?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on when the students get admitted, right? So the bigger push that you have to get students admitted, we'll probably try and do the first upload of students before winter break. I mean, what we're trying to tell all the high schools is get admitted before winter break. Because then 2 days before winter break, we can register you. So then when the college closes down, when you get back after winter break, you will see that class in your MyCC account. But of course, we can't do that if you have not yet been admitted, right? So I guarantee you, just by the nature of everything with the holidays and dual enrollment in general, that there will be stragglers that have not yet been admitted before winter break. And that does not mean that they can't get dual enrollment credit. We can still admit them after winter break, but it's going to make everything go a little slower for those students.
Right. Okay.
Plus, I do want to mention too, sorry, Carly, if you are a Native American student that is going to have your tuition covered by Indian education, then you absolutely need to get that application in before winter break, because your deadlines are much, much sooner than the regular population of students. Because we have a whole bunch of deadlines we have to meet earlier in January for that exchange of funds. Sorry, Carly.
Oh, no, I was just going to read some of the questions. So,
Oh, perfect.
So basically, you'll get a comment ID as soon as you fill out that application. You'll get a few different emails. One will have your comment ID and one will have a link to set up your MyCCC. You should be able to log into your MyCCC after that. If you've already applied and have not accessed your MyCCC in a while, you might have to reactivate your account. And the only way to do this is just by calling our IT help desk, because they have to go through verification and then they have to manually reset your account. So you'd have to call them, and I did put their phone number in the side chat, 928-226-4357.
Does anyone have any questions that if they don't have access to the chat, they just want to ask? We just, so Jen just asked a question about her son registered a few years ago, doesn't remember which email he used.
Okay, so are you saying that your son was admitted to the college a few years ago? So my suggestion with that is just shoot us, in fact, shoot Patty an email and with your son's name, and we will let you know if he's been admitted to the college already.
And then I can share with him the comment ID.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't need, if he has already applied or already attended the college recently, he doesn't need to reapply. We just need to make sure he has that comment ID, and then we'll direct him to the help desk so he can reset up his student account. Any questions using voices?
That's such a foreign concept.
Well, yeah, the chat
used to the virtual world. Yeah.
Sometimes people are on their phones though, and they can't type the question.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you for the presentation.
Oh, thank you.
This is Jen. Thanks for answering my question.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course.
And I wanted to say thank you to all of the students and parents, and obviously Ms. Lyons, and also dual enrollment instructors that joined us this evening. I see some friendly faces and recognize some names. So just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. And please know that Patty, myself, and Ms. Lyons, we're your dual enrollment team. If you have any questions, please just let us know. Ms. Lyons is incredible. And if she doesn't know the answer, she gets it to us immediately, and we will get you figured out very, very quickly. So as you go through this process, know that it is not always simple and easy, but we do our best to make sure that it's as smooth as possible. Just make sure you get that admission application in, because until you have that application in, there's no credit coming because we can't register you. Okay. With that, just want to wish everyone, I hope you all had a relaxing Thanksgiving, and wishing you an awesome Happy holidays, winter break, Merry Christmas, all of the above. And if there's no more questions, then we're going to say goodbye.
Hey, did someone?
Did someone have a question?
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, Leanne.
Okay, yes. Now, this is my first time with dual enrollment, and so my daughter's in 10th grade. So is this for 11th and 12th graders, or can she?
Which class is your daughter
Enroll.
in, Leanne?
This is mostly informational for me.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, okay, so the short answer to what you're asking is students of any age can be in dual enrollment. There's no, if they're 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, they can be in dual enrollment. The longer answer is that oftentimes the high school doesn't offer the course until that student gets to that 11th or 12th grade age group. We do have some, so let's take Math 187 pre-calculus, for example. The college doesn't have a rule that a 10th grader can't be in that college level Math 187 pre-calculus, but oftentimes students don't get to that class in high school until they're a junior and senior, right? But we do have other classes offered at Coconino High School, like HRM, welding. I'm sure Ms. Lyons can think of some that we do have 10th graders and sometimes even a 9th grader randomly in there.
Okay.
Yeah, it will depend on the class, basically.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any final straggler questions? Thank you all for being here. We miss working with the students and we miss seeing people. So it's nice to have such attendance. Thank you, Donna, for doing all that outreach. That's really helpful.
I want to thank you all and parents and students that are here tonight and the dual enrollment teachers that are here. We are trying really hard to prepare everyone for jumping into spring, leaping into spring for dual enrollment. And I really appreciate everyone's time this evening.
Okay. And if you get any questions after this, Donna, just send them my way. Happy to help out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Jen.